Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. We like to talk about historical fiction, wild cards, Game of Thrones, and much, much more. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Today I want to talk to you about the biography of Lady Anne Glenconner, Lady-in-Waiting, My Extraordinary Life in the Shadow of the Crown. I don't normally read biographies, but after watching a few documentaries about Princess Margaret, where Lady Anne Glenconner featured heavily, I was very interested in her life, and I wasn't disappointed. She truly had an extraordinary life. Be warned, from this point on there will be spoilers ahead. This book, from start to finish, is hilarious, even if it has very sad moments at times. But even the sad moments in this book are tinged with humour. Learning about her childhood through World War II was very interesting, and I really liked her childhood game Hitler's Mess, which was very sweet. I also enjoyed the way they always said cowardly custard, because that is something I remember from my own childhood. I also discovered that her father and my own grandfather both fought in the Battle of El Alamein and also both contracted malaria. Her life after the war was an interesting view into a world that no longer exists, with all the coming out balls she attended sounding amazing. I also enjoyed her take on fashion during rationing time in Britain, as that was something I talked about during my dissertation at university. Her parachute coming out ball dress sounded amazing in my opinion, no matter what her father thought of it. Her time working as a travelling salesman for her family business was also very interesting to see how the aristocracy had to diversify after the Second World War and couldn't solely rely on their estates. It was also interesting seeing how her family coped with her father's PTSD from the Second World War. Lady Anne was a lady-in-waiting at the Queen's coronation, and it has a full chapter of the book dedicated to the coronation. I feel this chapter dragged a little, but it is very amusing and also interesting to see how royal protocol is put into place in the modern era. Lady Anne's life does seem to flit from extreme to extreme, and this is best summed up on the day of the coronation, where she woke that morning on a mattress on the floor of a living room, to then go and be part of a royal procession, only to go to bed again on that same mattress. Her life really did go from extreme to extreme. And nobody was more extreme than Lady Anne's husband. Lady Anne's husband Colin had an artistic temper to say the very least, and seemed to be quite insane for most of their marriage, especially in the early days, where he would flit from being absolutely furious to weeping over the most small things. During this book we meet some very interesting characters. One of these characters is Colin's uncle Stephen, who is absolutely hilarious, and I would have loved to have met him in real life. The entire making of Mustique was very interesting, especially hearing about the parties Colin threw and his general eccentricities in the Caribbean. I like Lady Anne's character throughout this book, but I do not think she was the best mother, even though she loved her children. She did learn from her mistakes, however, which only makes the death of her sons even more heartbreaking. This book is a quick, easy read and is only 326 pages, but it is full of very interesting, funny stories, especially about Princess Margaret, but I don't want to give too many spoilers away. I recommend this book to anybody, even if they do not like the royal family. It is still a very funny book, and it is true. The truth is stranger than fiction. But what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, this is just my opinion. Please remember to help out and like this video if you enjoyed it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell, and on Twitter at Jessams. I post on Twitter regularly about my videos. If you want to see more book reviews, character comparisons, and fan theories, please subscribe to Jessie Bear Book Club. I try to post a new video at least once a week. See you next time on Jessie Bear Book Club. Bye!